Bashayir Pipeline Company, also known as Babco, is an international business company incorporated in Dubai as a free zone company on the 1st of February 2018, with its head office located at the Petrodar Tower in Al Mugran district in Khartoum City, Sudan. Babco is a joint stock company owned by the Sudanese Petroleum Corporation at 90% shares and Sudapet Company at 10% shares, specializing in crude oil processing, transportation, and export and shipping. We at Babco boast our talented, experienced, and dedicated team that focuses on creating value for our customers and stakeholders. Working together, our leadership possesses the expertise in critical management of pipeline operations and all that it entails, and our team applies its talents and knowledge to acquire and capitalize on opportunities that drive profits, promote performance, and ensure long-term sustainable growth. Our vision is to be a world-class crude oil processing and transportation operating company. Our mission is to maximize stakeholders' revenue by optimizing resources, adopting best practices, standards, and corporate social responsibility. On the 1st of April 2018, Babco took over the operatorship from Petrodar Operating Company of the Central Processing Facility at Al Jabalain and the pipeline from Al Jabalain to Port Sudan and the marine terminal at Port Sudan. The transportation system begins at Al Jabalain Central Processing Facility's CPF intake point, custody transfer metering at pumping station number 2, up to marine terminal Bashayir 2 through 5 pumping stations. Each pump station can pump up to 310,000 barrels per day with a discharge pressure equal to 98 bar gauge. With a length of 1,131 kilometers from CPF to marine terminal at the coast of Port Sudan along the pipeline, there are 25 block valves with 2 river crossings, the Nile crossing by PS4 and Atbara River crossing, isolated with 4 emergency shutdown valves and 18 cathodic protection stations. The pipeline also has a fiber optic cable laid along the transportation system. The central processing facility in Al Jabalain receives raw crude oil from the Paluj field with basic sediment and water at a maximum 10% and a temperature of 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. This raw oil is treated by separating and removing water, gases, and emulsion in order to meet crude oil export specifications. The factors that help in the treatment and separation of the crude oil are heating demulsification using chemical injection, polarization with an electric field, residence time, ground gravity, and the difference in densities. The CPF can process crude oil up to 300,000 barrels a day with a maximum 0.5% basic sediment and water. The CPF includes a power plant with an output capacity of 20 megawatts and several other related processing equipment and facilities to reach this goal. Al Jabalain Power Plant is the only source of power that supplies the Central Processing Facilities CPF, the pumping station PS2, OBC, and the Nile River Plant. The power plant is a base load generating station in island mode operation, supplying oil field operation. The plant operates normally and continuously with 2 engines, one in Phase 1 and the other in Phase 2, to supply power to the Central Processing Facilities, OBC, pumping station, and the Nile River Plant. The plant has been operating all year round smoothly. Operations and maintenance activities and even major overhauling were done by the National Power Plant team. The field pipeline covers PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, and PS6 and ends at Marine Terminal 2 for the export of Dar Petroleum Company oil. The pipeline was designed to pump a maximum flow of 500,000 barrels per day. Each pump station has 3 main centrifugal pumps installed in parallel, driven by Wärtsilä engines, along with 3 Rolls-Royce KRG6 generators in each pump station to supply power. As one of the supportive departments, General Services provides an excellent working environment for Babco staff as well as for contractors and visitors. These services include accommodation in high-standard living conditions in well-furnished, air-conditioned rooms, and also provide high-quality laundry and food services through a catering contractor. Running through the 35-kilometer buffer zone between South Sudan's Dar Petroleum Company and Babco Sudan upstream from Al Jabalain Central Processing Facilities is a pipeline which in its original design has an offtake at Kosti City on the western bank of the White Nile, around 70 kilometers from Al Jabalain and 8 kilometers across from Rabak City. This was to cater for Kosti's power plant. The offtake is designed to supply a flow rate of 18,500 barrels of oil per day. The second offtake point is set up at Kilo Point 700 to transport Babco's crude oil to Khartoum refinery, and it consists of 2 custody transfer metering systems. One stream's operational output is 14 to 15,000 barrels of crude oil. Babco offshore system was installed in 2005, designed to the latest international standards and with a capacity to export up to 3 million barrels a day. The export system consists of 2 onshore pipelines from the shore down to the bottom of the sea at a depth of 70 meters. Flexible risers transfer oil from the subsea wellhead up to the floating single-point mooring. The crude oil continues on floating hoses to the oil tanker. The mooring system is operated by a national government-owned company. They take the responsibility of mooring the tanker to the SPM and connect floating hoses using a competent crew with 1 tugboat and 2 line boats. In the event of an oil spill incident offshore, Babco checks and verifies the incident claim carefully. Once confirmed, Babco then announces the activation of its oil spill contingency plan. Every single person involved is made aware of their role in the plan. The situation is thoroughly assessed, and accordingly, the optimum option of dealing with the oil spill will be chosen, and an action plan is then set in motion. Being prepared is what we are all about, as Babco is equipped with all the professional technical resources needed to combat oil spill incidents both effectively and efficiently. These resources include highly trained staffs, appropriate technical equipment, and a professional international third party. Minimizing the negative impacts of oil spill incidents is an ultimate purpose for Babco. Marine Terminal Bashair 2 is fully operated by Babco through operations and oil movement for crude oil shipping, planning, scheduling, and loading to the international market. The marine terminal has a storage capacity and facilities which can handle up to 3 million barrels. To ensure smooth running of our operations at Babco, we implemented an intervention section responsible for mainline activities. This includes the following sectors: hot tapping and welding, block valve, cathodic protection, civil work, pigging, and the heavy equipment sector. We recognized the opportunity of developing our own staff in a vision to localize maintenance and intervention activities, a move that has proven to be a notable investment that benefited all stakeholders. Setting up local training workshops returned technically adequate, round-the-clock, cost-optimized in-house maintenance and repairs. These workshops train and certify our technicians to handle any repairs required, no matter the size or scope, and eliminate the need to hire contractors or incur any additional costs. Some of the maintenance and intervention section achievements include the installation of 24 block valves along the main line from the border at Kilo Point 212 up to Marine Terminal, with 4 crossing valves at the Blue Nile and Atbara rivers, where the SCADA system's remotely connected pneumatic and hydraulic actuators were also maintained. Replacement of cathodic test post stations parts, BV batteries and transformer rectifiers, and the installation of an auxiliary CP station at Kosti offtake. The setup of dikes and gabion boxes along exposed washout areas. The establishment of flood protection at Marine Terminal. Rights of way for all mainline sector, and stone pitching of block valve at Blue Nile and BV 24 and 26. Retrieval of a missing pig between PS2 and PS3 at a fraction of contractor's cost. Ensuring all heavy equipment is maintained and serviced at their respective agents and ready for use at any time at all Babco plants. When it comes to the people, Babco has carried out many community development projects and campaigns that have helped in the development of the community. By establishing schools, health centers, and cultural clubs in the various regions that the petroleum pipeline passes through. It has also dispatched numerous health convoys, as well as provided a number of tools for production projects that generated income in various geographical regions. Supporting our journey toward realizing our vision, Babco's company culture upholds an integrated set of values that calls for a one Babco that delivers superior performance and includes each and every one of our diverse workforce. Excellence, integrity, commitment, and teamwork reflect the theme to deriving our short and long-term strategies, maintaining prudence, and leveraging on continuous improvement and operational excellence.